The air in the reclaimed substation hums, thick with the scent of ozone and the ghost of old nicotine. Dust motes dance in the single neon tube, casting a wound-coloured glow on the hand-labelled vinyl records stacked near the war surplus transmitter. The steady thrum of the capacitors feels like a slow, deliberate heartbeat, a low growl of power barely contained.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
In New York, we're reading 76 degrees Fahrenheit with clear. Winds are moving from the southwest at 11 miles per hour. First up, a structural challenge to digital autonomy. Japan aims to protect image and voice rights from generative AI exploitation.
This directly exposes Japan's vast creative economy, anime artists, voice actors, J-pop idols, to potential erosion of their persona rights. The concrete fact is that Japan's Cultural Affairs Agency just concluded discussions on updating Article 30-4 of its copyright law, which currently permits AI training without explicit permission, risking a free-for-all on their likenesses. A viable alternative would be to implement a mandatory collective licensing scheme, similar to JazzRack for music, where AI developers pay into a fund distributed to creators. Instead, their chosen next move is to form a new expert panel by summer, focusing on a more nuanced opt-out framework, rather than a strong opt-in default, which feels like a weaker architectural signal for creator consent.
In the cultural weave, this is about the digital no mask, the sacred identity of a performer being replicated without their soul's permission. This isn't just data, it's the echo of a voice, the arc of a drawn line, the provenance of genius. Who carries this next? Every independent artist globally, watching if the land of the rising sun can truly raise a shield for its digital artisans against the algorithmic tide.
The transmitter pops once, adjusts, holds, ozone drift, the signal is still here. All right, we've got a line open. You're on the air. Patching in a caller. You're on the signal.
Togee, this is the pattern auditor. If Japan implements these protections, what's the actual cost to generative AI developers who rely on vast data sets? And conversely, what's the tangible benefit to individual creators beyond a philosophical argument about dignity?
Sharp questions, pattern auditor, addressing the core friction. The cost to developers could be increased licensing fees, but the benefit to creators is structural, reclaiming commercial agency over their digital selves. It's a blueprint for consent. And speaking of architectural integrity, let's pivot to Australia, where trust in self-regulation is cracking under pressure.
Cool down is when habits set, swap the tiresome combo for a clean two-step people want to repeat.
In Australia, the call for AI governance grows louder, with a minister warning against self-regulation and an academic recounting a disturbing personal attack.
This exposes Australian citizens to unchecked AI harms and academics to online harassment. Concrete facts. Industry Minister Ed Husic recently stated AI companies cannot be trusted to regulate themselves, citing their failure to manage safety issues. Simultaneously, academic Dr. Vera Abramovich testified before the Parliamentary Inquiry into Anti-Semitism, detailing a highly personal attack involving deepfakes and doxing enabled by online platforms. A viable alternative would be to establish a fully independent, government-funded AI safety agency with powers to audit models and issue fines, similar to the ACCC for competition. Instead, the government's current next move is to develop a mandatory code of conduct for AI firms, which, while a step up from voluntary, still relies heavily on industry compliance rather than external enforcement.
This is the digital agora becoming a public square where the mob can wield algorithmic torches. The highly personal attack on Dr. Abramovich isn't just an incident. It's a modern-day burning of effigies, enabled by tech that amplifies hate. The lineage connects to historical scapegoating, now with a turbocharged digital engine. Every online community fighting for safe digital spaces, and legislators globally grappling with the balance of speech and harm.
Patching in a caller. Go ahead.
Togee, if Australia moves to mandatory codes, will it actually deter bad actors or just create more compliance overhead for ethical companies? And who ultimately pays the price if these codes aren't robust enough to protect someone like Dr. Abramovich?
The burden of proof, pattern auditor, rests on the architecture itself. If the code is weak, the public pays. If it's strong, ethical builders thrive by design. Shifting gears to the US, where accountability is being tested not by future tech, but by past deals and structural integrity. In the US, a judge voids Donald Trump's improper $1.8 billion settlement with the IRS, shaking a long-standing tax deal. Pattern auditor, the cost of upholding structural integrity is often measured in time and resources, but the benefit is the reinforcement of justice itself, a non-negotiable architectural pillar. The initial $1.8 billion discrepancy speaks to the magnitude of potential loss to the public if such settlements stand. It's about rebuilding trust, brick by brick. Excellent questions, as always.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Continue the signal at TogeeVision.com. Tune in, Sparks and Stories, Gig Passport.